Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Power Rangers Season 2, Episode 5 of my show, but this is about Episode 4 of Season 2. Now, before I actually start talking about it, I just want to mention a couple of things. It's going to be a long weekend this weekend, so I'm going to be doing probably a lot of videos, and also I just want to explain to you guys what my upload schedule is going to be like for July coming up. I'm just getting off topic and then I'll get back into the actual episode. I apologize about this getting off topic here. Anyway, so what I'll do is, it's kind of late tonight while I'm recording this, so I might just record this tonight, but I'll upload it sometime tomorrow, maybe sometime in the afternoon or something like that, because of the fact that it's getting really late, so I don't want to bother uploading it the same night. If it wasn't for the fact that it's getting kind of late, because it's 8 o'clock right now as I'm recording this, so yeah, anyway. And I will be uploading a lot of videos next month in July. Expect that as well. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Now, getting into the actual episode. This is History of Power Rangers Season 2, Episode 5 of my show. But this is about Episode 4 of Season 2. Now, Episode 4 of Season 2 is called the Wannabe Ranger. Now, I'm going to explain a bit why it's called that. It's because one of the monsters that's going to create had the ability... Or actually, I'll explain why when I get to the segment with Zedd's character. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Now, when this episode starts, basically what happens is the 5 of the 6 Rangers are playing a game of basketball in the park, and then then Zach basically shows up and he kind of scares the other Rangers. And by scares them, I mean he's startled 2 of them while they're playing the basketball game because he's wearing this white monkey suit. Oh my god, I'm sorry, but that's kind of funny. He was wearing a white monkey suit. And now that I brought the monkey suit thing up, I just want to mention something. The monkey suit that he's in is actually going to play a hand in Zedd's monster that he's going to have attack the Rangers. I'll explain more about that monster when I get to the segment with Zedd's character. I just wanted to basically mention it ahead of time, and then basically Jason's wondering about Zach, what's with his monkey suit, basically, and then Jason basically says that Zach basically says that he was performing. Sorry about this, guys. I have to adjust the stand a little that way. Sorry if you saw that in the video. I apologize. I had to adjust my little stand I have for my iPad so it would be better for you guys to see my face. So if you saw that in the video, I apologize completely about that. Anyway, basically Zach tells the other Rangers that he was performing at his cousin's birthday party in the monkey suit. And basically, Billy says that it's rather believable because he was in the monkey suit, basically. So, and then the Rangers communicators go off, and then Zordon tells the Ranger what happens first is after that, what basically happens is Jason tells Zordon that he reads him, and then Zordon tells the Rangers to basically teleport to the command center. It's an emergency. And then basically, once the Rangers show up, Alpha explains, he says, "Ay, ay, ay, thank goodness." He's like, he tells them in his way, he's like, "Ay, ay, ay." And then he says, "Thank goodness they're there." And then, Trini says that she tells Alpha that they're ready to take on Zedd, which is kind of cool because by this point he's the big bad, because as I stated when I did his character bio, he would be the big bad for the first half of the second season, and then Rita would show up in a later half. So by this point in episode 4, they're kind of used to already battling him. But Alpha tells the Rangers that it's not Zedd they have to worry about. In this case, it's Zordon. And then the Rangers are wondering what Alpha means by that. And then Zordon basically explains to the Rangers that due to a galactic imbalance, I'm going to get into a little bit of a scientific kind of terminology here with the episode, because it has to do with our planets, basically. And then basically, Zordon explains to the Rangers that due to a galactic imbalance caused by the linear alignment of the planets in the solar system where Earth is, which is our solar system, he is about to temporarily deionize, quote unquote, temporarily deionize. Well, he's about to temporarily deionize, and then the Rangers are wondering what that means, and then Billy basically explains to the others that it means that Zordon's going to lose his power for a short while because of the linear alignment of the planets. And then Jason says that because of that, they've got to be on their toes for when Zedd attacks the Rangers. Because without Zordon there to help the Rangers, they need to be prepared for when Zedd summons a monster, basically. So, Jason, then Zordon deionizes for a short while at the beginning segment of the episode, and then Jason tells Alpha that they're going back to the command center and to teleport them back to the youth center, and then basically he tells Alpha to contact them the minute there's trouble, and then Alpha says to the other Rangers that he's got it, and then basically what happens is, after he teleports them back, he tells the Rangers that, so long, Ranger, don't worry about poor little, man, which is Alpha, which is him. He'll be all fine. Oh, crud buckets. Hold on 1 second, guys. Again, apologies if you saw that in the video, guys. I was just taking my pills. So if you saw that in the video, I completely apologize. That's why the iPad was turned. Anyway, then getting back into it with Alpha. After the Rangers teleport away, he tells the Rangers that so long, don't worry about him, little old Alpha. He'll be fine, all alone in the big, scary, command center. And then after that, then it goes into a scene where Zedd is, and then basically he tells Zordon in a mocking sense where he says that basically, he's like, say goodbye, Zordon. Without you, my Primatar will have the Rangers turning against each other. Now, basically, what is Primatar... Now, remember what I stated when I began the video where I said the segment of the episode where Zach showed up in the monkey suit? This was partially what I meant by that. Now, I'm going to get back into the episode because the monkey suit is going to play... Oh, sorry about that if you heard that weird burp there. I just finished taking my pills. That's why the screen was turned. I had to take my pills, so I had to turn it so you guys didn't see me take my pills in the video. So again, I apologize about that. Anyway, getting back into it with what I was stating with the monkey suit. The monkey suit that Zach was wearing for the performance at his little cousin's birthday party is what Zedd uses to create the Primatar monster. And then, and then after that, Zedd says that the planets are in alignment. He's like, say goodbye, Zordon. Without you, my Primatar will have the Rangers turning against each other. And then after that, I backtracked there. And then after that, he said that he's like, the planets are in alignment. Zordon should be fully deionized by now. Time to bring the Primatar to life. Like, he figures that the planets where Earth is are in alignment, and Zordon has to be fully deionized temporarily by now. So he said that it's time for him to bring his Primatar monster to life, and he knows just what body to give the Primatar. And this is what I meant when I said the monkey suit that Zach wears would play a hand in the monster that he creates. Because he creates the Primatar monster from that monkey suit. Like, he uses it as a base for the monkey suit to be... Like, he uses the monkey suit as a base for the monster to be created. And now I'm going to explain a little bit about the Primatar's powers. He has the ability to shapeshift. Like, he's sort of like a shape-shifting monster. Now, basically what I mean by that is he can transform into any one of the Rangers, thereby making it hard for them to tell friend from foe, basically. But it does have a weakness, which I'll explain later when I get to the segment where Zordon explains to the Rangers about his weakness, and it also will... with Alpha. Anyway, after that, basically what happens is Zedd creates the Primatar, and then after that, Alpha said that he's bored, so he uses the viewing globe to basically see what's going on in Angel Grove Park, and then he basically looks through the viewing globe at the park area, and then he sees a little boy looking for his mom and stuff, and then basically he thinks that there's trouble in the park, so he figures that he should contact the Rangers. And then basically, but then he figures that he doesn't need the Rangers' help to save the little boy, so he goes off on his own to deal with the little boy thing, and then he says, Alpha Ranger to the rescue, and then he shows up where the little boy is. Now, the boy's name is actually Dylan in this episode, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. Anyway, then after Alpha introduces himself to Dylan, and basically, because the reason why Dylan was running around was because he was looking for his mom, and then Alpha basically explains to Dylan that the best thing that his Mom is probably looking for him as well. So basically, the best thing for them to do in this situation is to wait for her to come to them, basically. So Dylan tells Alpha that does he want to play soccer with him, and then Alpha wonders what soccer is, and then after that they start playing, and then the Primatar monster shows up where Alpha is, and then he disguises himself as Billy, and then after Alpha kicks the ball over to where the Primatar monster is disguised as Billy, he thinks that the Primatar is Billy, but it's not, and he's like, uh-oh, busted! And then basically, the Primatar disguised as Billy tells Alpha that he's disgusted, and that, basically, he is a naughty boy. What is he doing out here? And who's watching the command center? And then Alpha says, aye, and that he just wanted to. And then the Primatar monster disguised as Billy tells Alpha that just wanted to nothing. Now let's get back to the command center. And then basically what happens is Alpha says that's okay, but by the time he does, when he sees, because of the metal helmet, like the metal head that Alpha has, it causes the Primatar to lose his control of his shape-shifting ability, and then Alpha realizes that the creature there is not Billy, it's actually the Primatar, and then the Primatar changes back into its real form, and then he's saying to Alpha to take him to his to Alpha's command center, and then he's telling Dylan to run from the Primatar, and then basically then Alpha activates his self-destruct system, which basically, I think you guys know what a self-destruct mechanism is. It's basically a mechanism that activates that makes something basically explode when it's on a countdown. And then basically after that, in the next scene, Zedd sees that Primatar is still fooling around with Alpha, and then he's like, Primatar! Leave that metal junk pile alone and go destroy the Rangers! And then Primatar tells Zedd that yes, he will, and then he teleports over to where, like his version of a teleport over to where some of the Rangers are in the youth center, and then he changes into Zack, basically, and as Zack, he tells them that Tommy's in trouble. He's surrounded by putties in the park, and he's losing his powers, and then basically Trini and Kimberly they get a little upset about that because they wonder why didn't Alpha contact them. And now this is gonna sound kind of stupid, but because of that, the reason why Alpha didn't actually contact them was because he had an encounter with the Primatar before and he activated his self-destruct mechanism, so that's kind of why. I'm sorry I had to bring that up. I'm sorry I had to bring that portion up. I just wanted to mention it. And then after that, what basically happens is the Primatar disguised as Zack tells them that he doesn't know, but they should probably get there and figure out what's happening with Tommy and stuff. And then Trini and Kimberly decide to go to where go to the park is, and then this is gonna sound kind of funny, but this actually gives away that it's not really Zach, because he starts sipping on a straw, and then after that he's like, banana shake, because it's really the Primatar, so it's a monkey monster, and monkeys basically like bananas. Oh my god, I'm sorry, but that's kind of funny. And then basically what happens is Trini and Kimberly show up at the park where the Primatar told them, the Primatar disguised as Zach told them that that Tommy was going to be, and then when Zedd sees that, he's like, now's the perfect time for my putties to destroy the pink and yellow power brats. And then basically they start fighting, then the putties show up and they start fighting then Trini and Kimberly start fighting the putties and they manage to beat them, and then they go back to where Tommy is in the youth center with, I just want to get off topic. When they first arrived, what happened is they were looking for Tommy, but they didn't see him there, so they contacted them on their friends on their communicators to figure something out. And that was when Zedd sent his putties down to destroy them. And then I just wanted to backtrack to that segment there. And then after that, Kimberly sees that Tommy's okay. And then Trini kind of gets a little upset with Zach. Because they think that he did that to play a joke on them, which it didn't work. And they don't know what he's talking about. What the other male rangers don't know what he's talking about. And then basically, because Jason tells Trini and Kimberly that Zach has been with them the whole time. And then basically they decide to contact Alpha, but it doesn't work. So they contact Zordon on the communicators, because by this point, what happens is they teleport to the command center to figure things out, and then basically what happens is then it goes back into where Alpha is with Dylan, and then Dylan is asking Alpha if he's gonna be okay, and then Alpha says that he doesn't think so, and then he says 10 minutes to self-destruct, because he activated his self-destruct mechanism. And then basically in the next scene, Tommy realizes that Zordon has become re-energized. And then after that, basically what happens is Zordon tells the Rangers that they have a crisis and to behold the viewing globe. And he tells them that Alpha is in the arms of a young boy named Dylan, who he tried to rescue from the Primatar, and he activated his self-destruct mechanism. And then basically, and then after that, basically what happens is, when Kimberly hears about the self-destruct, she says, poor Alpha, and then the Primatar monster shows up, and Zordon tells them that they have to deal with the Primatar monster, and then, Zordon cautions the Rangers that the Primatar has the ability to shape change into any one of them, making it impossible to tell friend from foe. And then when Kimberly overhears that segment of the conversation, she then realizes that it was probably the Primatar monster who changed himself into Zach and told them to go to the park, which kind of makes sense because he lured them into a trap using Zach, basically. And Trini says that that she and Kimberly are sorry for not trusting him, and then basically Zach says it's solid, and then he says that they should get this bogus baboon, and then they morph to their Ranger forms to deal with the Primator, and then they say their Ranger colors, and basically what happens is when Trini says the Yellow Ranger, there's a second one that's, well, they go to fight the Primator, and then when the Primator sees them, they say their Ranger colors, and then when Trini shows up with the, when Trini says her name, then Primator changes into the Yellow Ranger to basically confuse the Rangers as to which Ranger is the enemy and not. And then after that, Jason comes up with the idea to basically have both of the Yellow Rangers fight him, and he can tell by who's fighting style, who's Trini and who isn't, and he tells them to both come at him. And then the rest of the Rangers tell the others to basically, one of the Rangers, I think it's Zach, he tells the rest of the Rangers to be ready when the fake attacks, and then Trini says that Jason's her friend, she can attack him, and then the other Yellow Ranger, which is the Primator, says that she can, and then they figure out who the Primator is. And then basically what happens is after that, they blast the Primator, and then after that Primator's like, "Oh hey, that's smart!" And then he transforms into the Red Ranger, and well, first what happens is he transforms into the Black Ranger to deal with the Primator. Like, he transforms into the Black Ranger again, like Zach in his Ranger form, and he starts attacking them. Then after that, Zach starts fighting the Primator disguised as him, and then basically after that, the Rangers, one of the Rangers, Jason says to Zach that was a pretty nasty fall because him and Primator fell really hard, and he wonders if Zach's okay, but he said he's fine, and then he starts attacking him because it's not really Zach, it's the Primator disguised as Zach in his Ranger form. So, and then basically after that, what happens is then the Primator changes into the Red Ranger after a little while, and then after Jason said that he thinks that he's the Red Ranger, so he'll show him. And then after that, he starts fighting them, and then basically, the Primator monster that's disguised as Jason in Red Ranger form tells the others that it's the bogus Red Ranger, but it's not, it's the real one, and then Primator's laughing, and he's like, "Fooled ya!" And then he blasts them with the lasers from the eye segment of the helmet, which I am pretty curious if that could actually happen with the Rangers too, if they can fire lasers from the helmet. I'm not really sure, but I think it should. And then after that, they decide to basically make a tactical retreat, and then Jason tells Zordon that they can't seem to outsmart Zedd's monster because they can't tell who to fight. And then Zordon tells the Rangers that he discovered a clue, and he tells them to behold the viewing globe. And he says that when the Primator monster sees himself reflect... Now this is going to actually play a hand in the Primator monster's downfall. And what I mean by that is basically, Zordon explains to the Rangers that when the Primator sees his reflection in Alpha's shiny helmet, he's unable to hold his altered state. So that's when Jason comes up with the idea that in order to beat the Primator, all they gotta do is make him see a reflection of himself in a mirror. Well, a reflection of himself, and then Zach said that if anyone's got a mirror, and then Kimberly said that they're in luck, she never leaves home without them one, and then they teleport to where the Primator is, but Tommy isn't with them, and then the Primator disguised as Tommy tells them that he's losing his powers and it's too much and why don't they just give up. And then that's when they realize that it's not actually Tommy, because Jason tells the Primator that the real Tommy would never give up so easily. And then after that, they decide to do a little science experiment. Then he calls the Primator disguised as Tommy a bogus baboon. And then the Primator is saying that soon they'll wish they all gave up. And then Billy says that they think they should try a science experiment. So he gives Tommy the mirror, and that causes the Primator to lose his shape. And in this case, by lose his shape, it just changes the helmet to a red symbol, sort of similar to the Primator's face. And then after that, they manage to fight the Primator fairly in the battle. And then after that, Zedd makes the Primator grow, and then the Rangers deal with the Primator in the Megazord, and they manage to defeat it. And then after that, basically what happens is they go over to where Alpha is with Dylan, and then they shut down. Jason in his Red Ranger form is telling Billy to shut down Alpha's self-destruct mechanism. And then after that, Alpha says that his self-destruct mechanism has been deactivated. And then Dylan's mom shows up, and she's saying that she's been looking everywhere for him. And then and I'm guessing Zedd gets. I'm just gonna get off topic with Zedd. I'm guessing he gets upset that the Primator is defeated by the Rangers in this case. I just wanted to backtrack there since I kind of skipped ahead because I'm getting close to the end of the episode. Anyway, she's thanking the Power Rangers for looking after her boy, and then Jason in his Red Ranger form is telling her to thank Alpha, and then Dylan says bye to the Rangers and Alpha, and that he'll never forget them. And then basically Zordon's getting upset with Alpha that he left the command center without telling the Rangers. And then Trini makes a little bit of a joke where she says that she guesses he'll be grounded for a certain 100 years or so. And because Zordon gives Alpha this pep talk about a true member of a team knows when to notify the others. He should have notified the Rangers that he was leaving the command center. So, anyway, and then that's when Trini makes the joke about Alpha being grounded for a couple of 100 years. And then Alpha gets upset and he's like, ay, now I'll never learn how to play soccer. And that's basically where this episode stops. So if you guys like this video when I post it, I am going to post it tomorrow. So if you guys like this video when I post it, just please give this video the real best you guys can. And I will see you guys next time for the next video. And I'm sorry that this video is relatively long. There was a lot I had to talk about in this episode. And I didn't want to skip anything. So that's why this video is kind of long. So I apologize again. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. So once this video is up, just please give it the real best you guys can. And I will see you guys next time for the next video. So until next time, guys, like I always tell you with this series, may the power protect you always.